morning, students. How are you all? After a long break, we are meeting today. So, you might have bored during this vacation, isn't it? Nearly 5.5 months. Even we are bored. That's why we started the online classes today. Okay. Now, coming to the theory class, regular theory classes are going to be held in October most probably, and even practicals. So, till September end, we'll have online classes. But online classes, live classes, we are going to have once in a week, and you may clarify there your questions, queries, etc. So, rest of the classes will be we are going to upload the videos in YouTube. Okay. Now, textbook, regarding textbooks, we have already ordered, so we are going to get next week. So until then, you can make use of a PPT, clarify doubts, and after I receive the textbook, I'll let you know. So you can come to the college and collect your textbooks. Alright. So the chapter, that is paper 3, that is the syllabus, paper 3, chapter 2.1, D block and F block elements. So first let me start D block elements. Now, which are D block elements? So in the periodic table, you know that there are 4 blocks based on the electronic configuration. I mean, the valence electron goes to the outermost orbital. So some of the elements you have s orbitals where you have valence electron. Some of the elements p block, that is p orbitals. Okay. In a D block you have the valence electron in the d orbital, and F block elements contain valence electrons in the F orbitals. So what are D block elements? So D block elements are the elements which contain the valence electrons present in d orbitals. Now where these are present in the periodic table? In between S and P block you have got one D block elements. Alright. Now below D block you have F block elements. You can see in the periodic table of D block elements in the first slide, and there are 4 D block elements, that is 4 series of D block elements: 3D series, 4D series, 5D series, and then 6D series. And 3D series, you can see here in the slide, starts from scandium, atomic number 21. Okay, 21. And 4D series starts with the yttrium 39. 5D series starts with the lanthanum, and 6D series starts with actinium, atomic number 89. Now we will move to the next slide. Altogether there are 118 elements in the modern periodic table, and you know that they are classified into 4 blocks, that is S block, P block, D block, and F block. Now why this classification is done, or on which basis this classification is done? That is, a differentiate electron or valence electron belongs to this S orbital, P, D, and F orbitals. Now let us see the introductory part. It is what is the introduction to D block element. That is the next slide. D block elements or transition metals are defined as those elements which contain partially filled d orbitals, either in their ground state or in their common oxidation states. And based on this, you know that there are 4 D block elements: 3D, 4D, 5D, and 6D. So in each of the series you can find 10 elements, right? In the previous slide you might have seen all the 4 series contain 10 elements in each series. Now what is the electronic configuration? That is the electronic configuration of the valence shell. That is, d block elements contain valence electron enters into n minus 1 d orbitals. Now what do you mean by this? Suppose if n equal to 1, you don't have d orbital, right? Because you should have n minus 1 d. N is equal to 2, you don't have. N equal to 3, you have. Okay, because n minus 1 becomes 2, n minus 3 means 3 minus 1 2d. 2d also you don't have. N equal to 3, so d orbital starts from 3d series. That means n equal to 4 you should have. 4 minus 1, that is 3d. So d orbital starts from n equal to 4, that is the principal quantum number should be 4, so that 4 minus 1 equal to 3, so that 3d orbitals you have starting from 3d series. These are also called transition elements. Why they are called transition elements? Because there is a gradual change in properties from metallic to non-metallic properties. Okay, so you can find in these d block elements, you have most of them are metals, and when you go to p block, you have most of them are in the non-metals. Okay, for example, the noble gas elements, or you can see the gases like oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. Okay, so you have transition from metallic to non-metallic character. That's why they are present at the center of the periodic table, that means in between S and P block, correct? So these are arranged from group 3 to 12 in the periodic table. Okay, where is the group 3 present? In between S and P block, right? So group 3 to 12 in the periodic table, or in other words, in between S and P block elements. Now what is the general outer electronic configuration of d block elements? General outer electronic is written as n minus 1 d 1 to 10 ns 1 to 2. In transition elements, differentiating electron you know, it goes to 3d, 4d, 5d series. We shall go to the next line. So that is the first transition series, 3d series. The elements from scandium, what is the atomic number of scandium? That is 21, right? Starting element is scandium, and the last element in this series is zinc, that is atomic number 30. They are placed in 3d series. Okay, now what is the electronic configuration? That is the outermost electronic configuration of 3d series, 3d 1 to 10. You will find electrons in 1 to 10 in the 3d orbital. And then 4s orbital, how many electrons are present in 3d series? 2 electrons are present, right? Now we will go to second transition series. Second transition series is nothing but what? 4d series. Okay, 4d series. Now which is the first element in 4d series? Z atomic number 39. Which is that element? Yttrium. And which is the last element present in this series? Cadmium. Z, that is nothing but atomic number of cadmium is 48. And what is the electronic configuration? I mean the valence shell electronic configuration, that is 4d 1 to 10. That means in the 4d orbital you will find the electrons from 1 to 10, and then 5s orbital you have 2 electrons. Third transition series, that is nothing but 5d series. How many electrons are present? That means in this 5d orbitals here 1 to 10. 4f orbital you have 14 electrons, right? What is the electronic configuration? That is the outermost electronic configuration 4f 14. 5d 1 to 10. That means d orbital contains, that is 5d orbital contains 1 to 10 electrons, and 6s orbital contains 2 electrons, right? So all the elements have got this configuration. Outermost electronic configuration will be like this. Now we will move to the next slide, that is electronic configuration of transition elements. So how do we write electronic configuration of 3D series, 4D series and then 5D series? You can see here the symbol of all the elements of 3D series. Okay, how many elements are present in 3D series? 10 elements. Which are those? Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron. Iron symbol is Fe. Cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. First element is scandium. Okay, last element is zinc. 4D series, which is the first element? Yttrium. Okay, yttrium, zirconium, niobium, molybdenum, technetium, ruthenium, rhodium, palladium, silver and cadmium. Yttrium to cadmium. Yttrium is the first element, cadmium is the last element. 5D series starts with lanthanum. Okay, lanthanum is the first element, mercury is the last element. Atomic number 57 lanthanum and 8 is the mercury. Okay. Now scandium electronic configuration, that is 3D1 4s2, titanium atomic number 22, 3D2 4s2, vanadium 23 atomic number 3D3 and then 4s2. Okay. When you come to chromium, you can see the electronic configuration 3D5 4s1 and it is not 3D4 4s2. Why is that? What is the reason for that? Because it will acquire the stable electronic configuration by filling the electrons in the d orbital, that is completely half filled. So you might have come across this in your PU classes, right? Completely half filled structure or completely filled structure is the most stable compared to other structures, right? So 3D4 is very close to the completely that is a half filled structure, that is 3D5, right? Completely filled structure of d orbitals is 3D10. Okay, now completely half filled is 3D5, just half of that, 10 half is 5, so it will acquire completely half filled structure in the case of chromium, correct? That's why it will have configuration 3D5 4s1. So that is the most stable configuration, that's why it has been written in given in red color. That is so that you will understand, okay, why it has got that configuration. Then manganese. Manganese anyhow 3D5 4s2, it is also completely half filled, no problem. Iron 3D6 4s2 37 and nickel 3D8 4s2. Now when you go to copper, copper will actually according to our criteria, what is it is to be 3D9, right? But 3D9 is not the stable configuration. It is very close to completely filled 3D10. That's why it will acquire 3D10 configuration and 4 is 1. Okay, that's why it is more stable configuration. So it will be having 3D10 4s1. And zinc anyhow 3D10 4s2, so that all the valence shell orbitals are completely filled over here. 3D orbitals maximum capacity is 10 electrons because there are 5 d orbitals are present, alright, and in each d orbital you have 2 electrons. Okay, so 4s orbital anyhow each orbital 4s orbital contains 2 electrons maximum. So here completely filled structure you have zinc. Now coming to 4D series, yttrium 39 atomic number. Okay, and what is the electronic configuration? 4D1 5s2, zirconium 4D2 5s2, niobium 4D3 5s2, molybdenum. Now here molybdenum similar to chromium, so it will be trying to acquire a completely half filled structure, therefore it is not having 4D4 5s2 structure rather than 4D5 5s1. So it will be having 4D5 because completely half filled structure. D orbitals completely half filled, right? There are 5 d orbitals, so each of the orbitals contains 1 electron. So 5 d orbitals 1 electron means total 5, right? Therefore it will be having 4D5, which is the completely half filled structure, which is the most stable one, right? Most stable one. Therefore it will be having 4D5 and then 5s1, right? Then technetium 43 45 5s2, ruthenium 44, 46, 5s2, rhodium, 47, 5s2, and then palladium, 48, 5s2, silver. Now coming to silver, similar to copper, right? So actually it should have been 49, but 49 is not the stable structure. It is trying to acquire completely filled structure, which is the most stable one. Okay, therefore you have 4010 and then 5s1, similar to copper, correct? So it is the most stable electronic configuration. Then coming to cadmium, which is the last element, 48, you will have 4010 5s2, right? 5s2. Now last series, that is the 5d series. 5d series, you have first element lanthanum, 57 atomic number. What is the electronic configuration? 5d1 6s2. Okay, hafnium 4f. When you come to hafnium, you have 4f orbitals also present, and 4f orbitals you have 7f orbitals. So 7f orbitals means each orbital can accommodate maximum of 2 electrons, correct? 2 electrons it can accommodate, therefore 2 into 7, that is 14. Then 5d2 and then 6s2. Then you have the other elements, hafnium, thallium and tungsten, rhenium, osmium, iridium, platinum, gold and mercurium. So you will have same type of electronic configuration. When you come to tungsten, you have one 4f14, 5d5 and then 6x1. So here also it will acquire, just like chromium and molybdenum, you find it will be having completely half-filled structure, right? 5d5. 5d5 means completely half-filled structure, which is the most stable one. Okay. Then coming to gold also. So other electronic configuration similar to one, you have the like 3d and 4d series. Now coming to gold, you can see 4f14 and then 5d0, 5d 10. It is not 0, looks like 0. It is not 0. It is a 10. Okay, and then 6s1. So 5d10, 6s1. 5d10 means what? It is having completely filled structure, correct? Completely filled structure. So that one is not visible there. So you can make out. So it is having 5d10. It is not 5d0. It is 5d10. Just like one silver and then copper. So 4f14, 5d10 and then 6s1. Then you have last element mercury, 4f14 and then you have 5d10 and then you have 6s2. Okay. So this is about what 3d series, 4d series and then one 5d series. Now coming to the next slide, general characteristics of transition elements. So we are going to see now in this slide the general, what are the general characteristics of transition elements. The first property or characteristic is the atomic and ionic radii decreases along the period. This you might have learnt in your PU classes. The atomic and ionic radii. Atomic radii decreases means ionic radii also decreases when you move from left to right in the periodic table. Okay. Why this atomic radii decreases? Because atomic size decreases, right? Atomic size decreases, therefore atomic radii decreases, therefore ionic radii also decreases. Why? Because you have one, due to the increase in the nuclear force of attraction. Why nuclear force of attraction? As you move from left to right in a period of the periodic table, to the same shell electrons are going to be added, right? When to the same shell electrons are going to be added, the force of attraction between nucleus and the outermost electrons increases, correct? Increases. Force of attraction increases means the outermost electrons are strongly held by the nucleus, right? Strongly held. Therefore, strong bond, strong force of attraction. Therefore, there will be slight shrinking in size of the atomic radii, or in other words, ionic radii. Therefore, you have even in the transition elements also same thing happens. As you move from left to right, atomic radii or ionic radii decreases. Okay, decreases. So next characteristic will study in the next class, ionization potential and electronegativity. So before that you must be thorough with what ionization potential and electronegativity, which you already learned in PU classes. Alright, PU classes. So any doubts, please clarify with this either through one call or through WhatsApp, whatever it may be you feel like asking. Okay, so once in a week we will have one Google Classroom. So in that also you can ask you can clarify your doubts. All right. So please study the things which are taught in the class in the same day itself, so that you will be more thorough with the topic, so that you can easily concentrate in the next class, the study the materials. All right.